Okay, good morning. Why should you go drinking with neutrons? We're talking about milkshakes, of course, milkshakes. Wherever they go, there's no charge. Neutron, no charge. Okay, struggle bus. Okay, go over the homework. Oxidation numbers 1 through 5 only. We're going to do that in a separate video. Some people like to see that. Few people like to see any of these. We shouldn't do the self-deprecating humor, but that's okay. We're going to go into a little bit more of half reactions, and that's going to be a separate video if I remember. And then homework, I will show you, it's going to be some more practice of the essentially the oxidation numbers and identifying the oxidizing and reducing agents. I'm also posting a quiz this morning that's going to be due Friday at 3:15. Those are the things that are involved with that. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's look at the homework first, which is this one. Let's pull that down. Let's go a little bit higher. All right. Answer each of the following with the term oxidation or reduction. So just to remember, we've got two mnemonics, Leo, Ger, and oil rig. Loss of electrons is oxidation, gain of electrons is reduction. Oxidation is losing electrons, reduction is gaining, either one. Okay, so a decrease in oxidation number, now be careful, the oxidation number is decreasing. So if it's a reducing of oxidation number, it is reduction. Okay? Loss of electrons. Leo, loss of electrons, oxidation. Oxidation number becomes more positive. That's not a decrease, that's an increase. So this is oxidation. Since the oxidation number becomes more positive, for example, if we have silver and then it becomes silver plus, this by itself is 0 and then it becomes a silver ion, that would be oxidizing by losing an electron. So we would put the electron on that side. Change in oxidation number from +3 to +1. +3 to +1. What's happening to the oxidation number? It is going down, it is getting reduced. If I'm gaining electrons, Ger, reduction. Change in oxidation number from -2 to 0. Is it going up or is it going down? Well, -2 up to 0 is gaining oxidation number. And in order to gain oxidation number, it must have lost electrons. Becoming more positive by losing electrons, that's oxidation. Okay, so have those straight in your head. Now, more practice finding oxidation numbers. Okay, FeSO4. Well, from table E, I know that SO4 is a 2- ion. So, if there is no number here and no number here, that must mean, remember this is a polyatomic ion. If there's no number next to the E and there's no number next to the SO4, that means they have the same number. So, SO4 is 2-. We could do it that logically. So this whole thing is a -2. That means this thing is a +2. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there, and then we'll confirm that in a second. But I also know that SO4 is 2-, so let's do it the old-fashioned way. There's 1 sulfur, there are 4 oxygens. each oxygen is a -2. I don't know what the sulfur is. And I know that my total charge here has to be a -2. That means this is 6. So sulfur is a +6. Oxygen is a -2. So if the SO4 is a -2 and this whole thing is electrically neutral, that means that has to be a +2. Okay? Let's see what that does. Hey, I changed it. All right. KClO3. No ion here. So, here's one of the rules. Potassium is in group 1. All group 1s have a +1. All group 2s have a +2. That's one of the rules you can remember. So if KClO3, if potassium is +1, a +1, that means ClO3, the chlorate, is going to be a -1. So I can do it like that. ClO3 is a -1. So Cl, there's only one of them. I don't know what it is. Oxygen, there are 3 of them. Each one of them is a -2. My total here is going to be -1. That means chlorine must be 5. 5 plus -6 is -1. That's a +5. So chlorine is a +5. Oxygen is a -2 again. Okay? Next one. Okay, for each ion. These are polyatomic ions. This is nitrite, that's phosphate. That is a negative. That's not too negative. That's not very clear. This is NO2 minus. Okay, so let's try that one. Nitrogen, oxygen. There's one nitrogen. I don't know what it is. Oxygen, there are 2 of them. These are -2. What's my total have to be? A -1. That makes nitrogen a +3. +3. Oxygen is -2. Okay? And lastly, PO4 3-. This is a phosphate group. Phosphate. There's one of them. There are 4 oxygens. I don't know what that is. Oxygen is -2, almost always. I'll write down the exception. Peroxide, this is hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide, oxygen is actually a -1. But for pretty much every single other thing, it's going to be -2. So I can pretty much rely on that. It's -8. My total here is a -3. So what number has to go here? Is a 5. 5 plus -8 gives me -3. That's a +5. +5. Oxygen, again, is a -2. Okay? Just for fun, as the temperature of the substance decreases, average kinetic or energy decreases. Remember, take. When an atom of phosphorus becomes a phosphide ion, the radius, if I gain electrons, am I getting bigger or smaller? If I'm gaining electrons, those electrons are going to be further away from the nucleus, so it increases, and then we'd have to look in the reference table in order to answer that one. Okay? So, there's your homework. I'm going to stop for those people who wanted that gone over, and then I will start again.